searching forever for a laugh, I suppose.
Boom, boom. Before we start, so it was shot...
We've started.
No, I meant before we start on the other film.
Right.
It was shot in Norway.
It was.
And that other guy's name is... I could be pronouncing this incorrectly, so I apologise. Udo Kier.
We've already offended the German listeners, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, cool. And he was in Blade.
Yes, as the old vampire.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's where we know him.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Just in case people cared.
Oh, people care. This is a film podcast.
People care, right.
People care.
Right.
Nobody's going to be listening to us waffling on just for the sake of, us waffling on.
Well, it might be very nice background sound. I don't know.
I can think of a million other things.
Never mind.
I have to say, I do have to listen to this podcast. I listen to it in the truck while I'm working as well. I do, sometimes.
And you think I'm the narcissist?
You are. But I listen to it just to make sure. Like, if I didn't do it, like there was one that came and I'd stuffed up the editing on it. And I only found out when I was listening to the whole thing. And it went halfway through. It was the second episode, and it went halfway through, and then it started at the start of the whole thing again. And because you're so on the ball, you never even knew anything about it.
Well, no,
that's your
comments
job. And everything like that, apologising to people, and I probably shouldn't have worried about it. It's all fixed now.
Okay, cool. Well, there you go.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, I put a lot of work and effort into this.
I don't.
She doesn't do anything. She just rocks up.
I rock up, I have a drink, watch a movie, and talk about it.
She didn't even pay for the drinks. Anyway, go on. It's true.
Oh! Oh! It's at your house. Why not?
That's the attitude. That's what I live on.
Hey, my entertainment is cheap and nasty. I'm up for it.
There you go. Okay.
Classic film. Guess who's coming to dinner?
Now, I picked this, ladies and gentlemen, and I was determined to find a film that would hold up today. When I say that, as a film that you'd watch and enjoy, maybe have a little bit of a sobby sob or something like that if you're that way inclined. It still does it to me. And you see, I'm
so glad we don't watch films together.
I'm the crier out of the two of us when it comes to movies. I sit there, but I know very much to make sure that I don't watch these sort of films when I'm with other people.
You have a quiet cry by yourself.
I'm fine, Pip. I'm just fine.
Oh, well, that's good that you can do that and still, Anyway, so I didn't know where I was going with that.
Guys, people, if you could just see the look on her face then. Go on.
Oh, so
Disgust
glad this is audio.
Was coming very close to it.
No, anyway, I'm so glad this is audio only.
Audio only, yes. One day we'll end up getting video on this, but that's further down the track.
I think that would be damaging. But anyway. Because I think we've got faces for audio.
Faces we have excellent faces for radio. And even better for obscure internet podcasts.
But
where nobody even cares.
Hopefully some people care. Anyway.
Well, those people already know you.
Oh, well, doesn't matter. Do you want to do the storyline since you picked it?
I've heard it. I've seen it. I know what it's about.
Oh.
Do we need to worry about whether they know anything about it?
No, it's all right. I will say it then. Just give me 2 seconds.
Fine.
So this movie, when Joanna Drayton, am I pronouncing that correctly? Joanna Drayton, a free-thinking white woman, and black Dr. John Pentis become engaged, they travel to San Francisco to meet her parents. Matt Drayton and his wife Christina are wealthy liberals who must confront the racism coming from the marriage.
Awkward.
Around, yes.
And racism in their own shriveled little hearts.
So it was very interesting.
Now, this is 1959, guys, when this film was put together.
1967.
Was it?
Yes.
Why do I keep going back to North by Northwest?
Stop it.
I'm just locked into that.
Don't. It was 1967. That's
every
when
film
Spencer
from
Tracy
now on
died.
is going to be, old film is going to be made in 1959.
67.
67, 2 years.
Spencer Tracy died in that year.
Yes, 17 days at the end of filming.
Which is really sad. And I don't know whether it changes how you watch it based on this information. I don't know.
You're doing the synopsis and now you're making value judgments. I may as well do the synopsis if you're
I've
going to sit
finished.
there. Oh, have you?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So what happened?
Well, are we going right into that? Because I was just... Oh, it's more like, what did you think of the film?
Look, I will be up front. I shall display my prejudices up front so that people know exactly where I'm coming from. This is a bit of a sentimental favourite for me. As films get, it doesn't get more sentimental than this. Possibly Meet Joe Black will probably get across the line before this one. But this is a bit of a sobber.
It is a Romeo-Juliet sort of
You
tale,
didn't
isn't
cry
it?
at this, did you?
I didn't cry.
You didn't feel a thing, did you?
Oh.
You sat there like a statue going, well, I suppose it's okay.
I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it, and I'm thinking, why is he giving... Because remember how the doctor, John, goes, if you don't accept us getting married, I will not marry your daughter. I'm thinking, why are you doing that? If you love her, you'll say, screw you, I'm marrying her anyway. We're in love.
But he was the responsible one.
Oh, I know. She was totally
She's
off
a nut.
She was totally off all over the shop.
In case people, and probably people are more aware nowadays than they were, say, 3 or 4 years ago because of tensions that we have in society across the board now, that 1968 was a huge year in America for civil rights and things like that. And it was a cataclysmic year in regards to social changes and how people thought about things. And
well, some of the comments that were made in the movie, like he said, in so many states you aren't even allowed to go there because you can't be a married couple. And
No.
I'm thinking, 1967?
Yes.
My gosh.
Yes.
It did my head in.
And they had to create the parents so that it wasn't just straight up openly racist. I think what they were trying to do when they created this was have two extreme left-wing liberals.
But I think they did that for a reason because they had to. Well, yes, we're liberals, but as soon as we've come, it's in our
face to face.
It's in our house now.
Yes,
this mixing and accepting.
Yes,
and then they have to really think about it. And I thought that was really well done.
Yes,
I thought it was so well done. I really got sucked in.
Was it?
I didn't cry, Paul, but I got sucked in.
Wet like a baby. It was fine. It's my little outlet, okay? Look, were there any parts of the film that irritated you?
Yes. It was only very minuscule.
Go on.
I found the woman, Catherine, is it Horton, who played Joanna? I thought her character was a bit flippant.
Yeah, but her behaviour
she's only
is
23.
flippant. Yeah, I know.
But then I learned she's Catherine Hepburn's niece. Because I thought their relationship was really good on camera. And then I went, oh, well, she's a niece. No wonder.
She's young, dumb, and yet to be filled with cum.
But I just thought, wow, she's so... And the way she spoke to Tilly, the housekeeper...
Yeah.
Was she a housekeeper or was she?
She's a household servant.
A servant.
Servant, yeah. This is the inherent part. I suppose they had to bring in.
She was like talking to the doctor because she loves him, but then talking to Tilly like she's nothing, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh.
Because she's a coloured woman.
No, but that's what I mean. To me, the relationship didn't work. Where Catherine and Spencer, their characters, Matt and Christina, spoke to Tilly, I thought were a bit better.
When I say because she's a coloured woman, I'm saying it from the context of 1967.
Yeah, I get that.
I'm not going to go there in regards to...
No, this is an old film. It's a classic film.
This is a film where they were dropping the N-word
be.
And everything in it.
Oh, I was surprised.
It hit me like a poop.
The first time it was said, I went, oh my gosh. And then they're all saying it, but back then, it was the word to use. So it was normal. And once you get over the shock factor and you have to go, well, hang on, it wasn't
the word to use. It was massively racist even then.
What I'm saying is, it was a word. Even the African American people in the film were using it though to describe themselves.
Yes, but if they want to call themselves that, we're not going to interfere.
I know, but what I'm saying is, it suited the film at that time period. You wouldn't do it now, and people have to realise that.
And that's why I said, isn't it an interesting look into...
time period.
Because the people... Now, this is what I'm trying to say. The characters are as left as it gets, the most liberal-minded people that you can find. I'm sure that the script writer who wrote the script was probably as left as it gets, you know. And yet the whole thing reeked of very subdued racism right from start to finish, right across. The only one that was not in the slightest bit racist in the whole thing was the priest.
Oh, yes, he was great.
He was.
Yeah. I can't even
His
remember
was
his name.
timeless. Like, his viewpoint of humanity was absolutely timeless. There was not a skerrick of...
He was great. The way, but I think that was great because that was the grounded part that you had for all the characters.
Yep. So then, if they can create a character who's completely and utterly racist, you know, can't see colour at all in any way, shape, or form, then the racism that was to our eyes in the 2018 eyes, because you wouldn't have seen it in those days. This is what I find intriguing. You wouldn't have seen it. Now, here's one character that is completely non-racist, and all the others have got their little threads of delicate racism.
How they're thinking about it.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah.
Because it's affecting them.
Yeah.
You know. And
it's okay if it's over there sort of thing.
And I suppose he doesn't have to give a shit because, well, you know, it's Tracy's character is his friend, and, you know, he doesn't have to get involved too much. So I guess it's easy for him to be magnanimous as everybody else is throwing their lives away. Because it was a big thing. It was a huge thing. Like, that's why they made the film about it. But look, the film had a social, it struck America like a social thunderbolt.
I imagine it would have at that time period.
It had a huge impact. And I guess that's why, because people say, "Oh, what's the point of art?" Well, that. You know what I mean? Like, that's where I enjoy cinema as much as the next person, and cinema can be, when it's not North by Northwest, an art.
No, but this is different because this one, it's a story, like a Romeo and Juliet story, but with a message.
Yes.
And, you know, it's not a bad thing. That's what I mean. Why do you make movies? To entertain people, to make people think? I mean,
all of that's great stuff, and I could not recommend it. It holds up. Do you think it holds up today?
I do.
It really does, doesn't it?
I enjoyed the film. I was sitting there going, "Oh my gosh!" But so many parts of it hold up.
Yep.
The way people are treating other people, the love connections between, you know, her parents
and there was genuine
his
love.
Parents. That's what I mean.
Yep.
And them and how they are. You know, how their relationships even with the parents
now,
as well.
Remember that little sideline in real life that I told you about?
Yes.
And I was concerned whether or not it would interfere. Were you glad at the end of the film that I told you about it?
I didn't remember it because I tried to go into it without looking at it.
Okay. Well,
and I only thought about it later on.
I can't watch it without seeing it. I'll tell people, this is why this film is such a... it's not a sentimental favourite, if you like. The Katharine Hepburn, who plays the mother...
Christina.
Yes.
Yeah.
She has had a 26-year affair with Spencer Tracy.
Who was her husband, Matt, in the film.
Yes, and basically Spencer Tracy was old school. He's not a particularly left-leaning person sort of thing. You talk to him and the man had come across as quite a conservative character. But she fell madly in love with him. Now... Katharine Hepburn is probably... I'm going to get shot for this, but I'll say it anyway. I think she's probably the most influential feminist in the 20th century.
I don't know if she was the most influential, but because she's such a big film star...
That's why she's influential.
Yeah, I guess so.
She played, more than any other person, strong, vibrant, I take no shit
well, it's funny
characters
I was reading,
in Hollywood. Nobody else did that.
I was reading stuff about her and they kept saying back in the old days, they're going, Katharine Hepburn's wearing pants.
Yep.
And things like
she
that.
She just did this shit and she just drove people crazy.
And put it on film and the other women are watching going, oh, then we can wear pants.
Yes, she didn't give a fuck. She just changed so many little... And she just used it with soft power. She knew she had power and she used it and she didn't rub people's face in it, but she didn't back down and she wouldn't be controlled. And that's why I think that But it's funny because even though she's such a feminist, she was in this relationship with this man who a feminist probably wouldn't tolerate, but she loved him, you know.
We don't know what he was like.